Accountants, have you ever caught someone evading tax? I had a guy frantically walk into my office looking like he'd just witnessed a crime. He sat down, wiped his forehead with a crumpled receipt, and said, "I need help understanding how money works. Not taxes, not filing, just money in general." I figured he was nervous, so I started with the basics. I asked about his income, his expenses, his job. He answered everything like he was guessing on a pop quiz. Then I asked when he last filed his taxes. He froze, just stared at me like I'd asked him to solve world hunger. I said it again. "When did you last file?" He blinked twice, shifted in his chair, and whispered, "Maybe 2015? I paused. "You mean 2025, right?" He shook his head. "No, like 2015, Obama was still president." My brain short-circuited. I said, "Sir, that was 10 years ago." He nodded slowly, like he was just now realizing time exists. I told him that was illegal. Very illegal. He looked offended, like I'd accused him of a crime he didn't commit. He said, "What even is a tax?" This man was 38 years old. He had a driver's license. He owned a car. He'd been walking around Earth for nearly 4 decades, and somehow taxes had never crossed his radar. I asked how he'd been getting by without the IRS hunting him down. He shrugged and said, "Nobody reminded me." Hello? The government doesn't send you calendar invites. They send you threats. I pulled up his records to see what kind of financial disaster I was dealing with. Turns out he'd been making decent money. Not rich, but comfortable. Enough to live on. Save a little. Maybe go on a vacation or two. So I asked, "Where's all your money going?" He got defensive. "That's personal." I stared at him. "You're sitting in my office asking me to fix a decade of tax fraud. Nothing's personal anymore." He sighed, looked at the floor, and finally cracked. "Competitive Beyblade tournaments." I blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "Beyblades, the spinning tops. I travel to compete. I have rare ones, limited editions. Some are worth thousands." I sat there in silence, trying to process the fact that this grown man had been dodging the IRS for 10 years so he could fund a Beyblade empire. I asked, "Do you have a storage unit full of Beyblades?" He nodded, almost proud. 2 units, actually. At that point, I didn't even know what to say. I just looked at him. He looked at me. The air conditioner hummed. Then he stood up, grabbed his jacket, and said, "You know what? I'll figure it out myself." I said, "The IRS doesn't care about your Beyblade rank. They're coming for you anyway." He walked out without another word. 3 weeks later, I got a voicemail from him asking if I could represent him in court. I deleted it.